I'll ask if Anne Poindexter, she's the president of the foundation. Yeah. I didn't know if she's president. Okay.
Those of you who've heard me talk before know that I say very often that the mission of the foundation is straightforward. Notice I said straightforward, but not simple. And that mission is to raise funds to sustain the long-term excellence of the Carmel Public Library. And in the past 2 years in particular, the foundation has focused on raising funds for the endowment. And that in particular we think is an important mission or an important goal for the future in particular. Before last week, I reported, was it Monday night? Monday night, that with the current pledges and the amounts that we had just transferred, the current endowment funds total $402,000. In part because, in sadness, we sent a letter early this spring after we learned about Wendy's retirement. And we offered those of you and others the opportunity to make a donation to that endowment fund in Wendy's honor. And as I sit here today, I can report to you that the endowment donations in Wendy's honor total nearly $22,000.
Wow.
Now, those of you who heard me talk at other times know I'm an avid reader. I love my library. I've teased Wendy for years about why we need anything other than my books. And when I talk, I like my quotes, which I pull from my books. I have noticed over the years, though, particularly talking to groups at the library, that some of us tend to use some of the same quotes when we talk about library subjects. And I don't like to do that. I don't like to talk about the same material as somebody else, and I don't want to take away somebody else's material. So I thought very long and hard today about what I should talk about in speaking today. And I decided that other than talking to you about the endowment, which I thought was appropriate, I mean, I am the president of the foundation, that I really wanted to talk about Wendy. And so Wendy, I want you to know that I left my books. But I did my research. And I went on the internet. I don't like to do that, Wendy. But I did print it. So here's my research. And so what I discovered when I searched several different qualities and characteristics surprised me, but it gave me my talking points. And frankly, I think they fit perfectly, but they may surprise you. So here we go. Wendy Phillips is the Tony Dungy of the library. You heard me right? My Colts blue dress, in case you didn't notice. Wendy Phillips is the Tony Dungy of the library world. But maybe you need me to explain just a little bit. Both obviously have had long and successful careers. Tony Dungy started as the head coach of the Colts in 2002. How many football fans do I have in the room? Remember those Colts in 2002? He had a mighty task. We had a defense that really needed to be fixed in 2002. Wendy took over as the director in a brand new building in 2000. And I don't think struggled is the right word. And although she deals with these issues much more readily than I do, think about the challenges she had in facing the technology changes that the library has undergone. And no, I didn't like them going from the card catalog to the online database. I still didn't like that. And did you know that every one of your books has a microchip in it now? Do you even realize that the check-in of books, which used to be a rather manual, labor-intensive process, is not so much anymore? Amazing technological challenges or opportunities that we don't think so much about if you think narrowly, as I like to, with regard to my library. But Tony Dungy set a record for consecutive playoff appearances and as the first African-American coach to win a Super Bowl. Now, Wendy has set records from everything, and yes, staff, I know she had a lot of help, but I'm focusing on Wendy today. Wendy has set records for everything from the annual number of cardholders, visitors, and programs to checkouts. And in 2013, if you go back, as I did today, and read annual reports, we broke the 2 million mark in 2013 for checkouts. But in 2014, Wendy won the library Super Bowl. In 2014, the Carmel Clay Public Library was named a Star Library by the Library Journal Index of the Public Library Services, a system to promote and recognize American libraries. And that is the closest I have ever heard Wendy come to bragging when she talks about that recognition. All right, at least one quote, but it's from Tony Dungy. You can't always control circumstances. However, you can always control your attitude, approach, and response. Just as Tony was the quiet and respected coach, so is Wendy the quiet and controlled director of the library, who always had a positive attitude, approach, response, and that same sweet smile as Coach Dungy. So like Tony Dungy, your quiet presence will certainly be missed.